That's all good.
I mean, you don't have to do anything, Jeffy Poo.
I'll do
Show me your
whatever I
tats.
want. So
Show me your
it's in
tatties.
progress, and it's a little skin flakesy right now. It's in this warm liquid skin flakes phase.
Nice.
Yeah, picking skin flakes now. Leaving it in my wife's office.
Save those in a jar so I can eat them.
Yes, I know the Dutch love them. Yeah,
wait, am I recording right now?
Yeah, it says this meeting is being recorded.
Oh, that's annoying. Okay, so Zoom just updated.
Yeah.
Fucking switched everything around, and now there's no like button up top that says you're recording, so I can like appease my like
your ADD. Just like
or my like
what I'm doing.
My I forgot to hit record anxiety.
Yeah. The man, a lot's happened since we last recorded. A lot has happened.
Well, I recorded a Tartary episode without you, and then I spent most of the time rambling.
Is it your birthday today?
Yeah, it's my birthday today.
It's your birthday. I was like, what the hell? It's the 28th. It's your birthday today.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, buddy. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I was so busy this morning.
That's fine. Andrew's like, what do you want to do on your birthday? I was like, record a podcast.
That makes me feel pretty special because you wanted to spend this time with me.
Yeah, I did. And you were like, yesterday you were like, is it today or tomorrow? And I was like, it's tomorrow, buddy, because that's my birthday.
I've lost my marbles as to what day is what.
Hey, you work too much, buddy.
You were telling me, but that's okay. It's good.
So it's been since May, so 2 months since we talked to old Jeffy Poo. So how's your world besides the new tattoos?
So I also had a birthday recently. You know, I'm a little bit older than Dale. I turned 48 this year, which is
I'm 45 crazy. By the way.
Yeah, and for the day after my birthday, I had some fillings replaced. This is what you do when you're 48. And I got my glasses. I got new glasses because I needed to get my prescription renewed. Nice. So I had an optometry appointment, and I had some fillings replaced because they were, I have old people fillings, like the silver ones, and they don't do those anymore. So I have like composite.
All of mine fell out.
Did they? So mine had stayed in since the 80s, and one of them was cracked. So I had to like get it replaced. I still have 2 more that need replacing. So
crazy,
but it sucks because it's a lot of drilling and needles and
that sucks.
So yeah,
it's nice when they fall out because they don't have to like dig
they don't have to re-drill it. Yeah. Oh my God.
Besides from the horror from it feeling like a tooth just fell out in your mouth, it's nice because they just clean up all the blah, 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 and then the like new fillings are
They're
much
so
easier.
Good. They're so nice.
They just like put the goo in, then hit it with the ultraviolet
light. Yeah, I found that really weird. So yeah, I have like nice white fillings now on one side of my mouth.
Oh, how do I sound? Do I sound normal? Because I got a new headset.
No, you sound good.
Finally. Cordless.
How the hell would I know how you sound? I haven't heard you in 2 months. You sound the
same. I took advantage of Prime Days.
Yep. You got yourself a wireless. I know I'm still wired like a plebiscite.
I mean, I'm sitting
Sorry, plebeian. I'm tired.
1.5 feet away from my computer, so it doesn't make a difference. It's just I wanted a new pair of headphones.
Yeah.
And so I use gamer headphones because have a big head and it sweats, and gamer headphones are really nice and comfortable. And the problem is that when they get fancy, they're meant for your like Xbox or whatever. So they have all these like doos. And I bought a set before like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And it ended up recording me super quiet. So this set, like I didn't even want, the reason I'm explaining all this is because I didn't even want wireless. I just picked these because on the box it says Zoom certified. And I was like, well, we use Zoom to record because we're not super.
At this point in our lives, you're literally Zoom certified after the amount of podcasts you've done. Not only is your headset Zoom certified, but you should be Zoom certified at this point.
I should be except for they just updated it and I don't know where anything is anymore.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally. That's the update. That's when you get, you're getting old when they make an update. You're like, oh, the buttons fucking moved.
Yeah. Once I get over my boomer, they move the buttons. I'll be Zoom certified again.
They moved the buttons. I'm upset about it.
Can you believe it?
Can you believe they moved the buttons on Zoom? What are they going to do next?
Oh, I made a discovery.
Run it.
Everybody if you thought I sounded like an absolute idiot before when I was complaining about no record button, if I widen the window a bit, it's at
Oh,
the
it's there.
bottom. There's a pause
Nice.
stop button.
Cool.
So it was there the whole time.
You
So
just
now
they just moved it and you went
my
boomer full
anxiety,
boomer mode.
I just wiggle my mouse and it shows up, still recording.
Nice. Good.
There is no button, however, that says, "Hey, talk about what you're going to talk about this week or
They need
this
prompts.
episode." Yeah,
In
yeah.
order to get Zoom certified, you need to make
Mhm.
your own prompts to like talk about episodes. All right. The Dale Show episode. I don't even know what episode number
I
is it.
didn't
Do you
even
know?
scream the
The
Dale
Dale
Show.
Show.
I have to do it quiet because the baby's like
Baby.
trying
Thank
to
you for the
nap
baby.
next in the next room.
Trying to nap. I want
But
to try
this
to
is
nap in the
episode
next room.
43, and
43. Wow.
we're gonna talk about the Trump assassination attempt. Bah,
Okay,
bah, bah, bah.
good.
Uh,
Fantastic.
I just want to off the bat, I want to say there is more Tartaria content coming, but this like the Trump assassination attempt happened on the 13th. And then you're like, yeah, whatever, they missed or whatever. And then some batshit crazy stuff happened, like further developments happened this week. And I was like, you know what? I will put this Tartaria
Just
aside,
on hold for a minute.
not because it's over involved and it's just like I feel like I'm drowning and it's just so much homework, but because I want to talk about Trump conspiracy, because it's not very often where you get to talk about conspiracies real time. You're
Yeah.
always like, oh, that thing that
It
happened,
happens.
that
That
was all
happened.
set up.
Yeah, totally.
But
We
the
talk a
funny,
lot about the
yeah,
past on this show. So this is good that we're doing something
yeah.
in the now.
And the best part about it was like in a weird way, this is going to sound bad. The Trump assassination attempt restored my faith in humanity,
Whoa.
not
Okay.
because they tried to shoot a former president, but because right when it happened, absolutely every single person was like, something seems fishy here. And
Yeah.
then the conspiracy theory started coming out.
Like immediately.
Yeah, like nobody believed it was just a thing that happened. Everybody's like, there's something going on.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll go over the quick conspiracy theories there was. There's people who said Trump did it. It was set up by Trump so that
Yeah.
he could get favor and people would feel guilty for him, which I think is the absolute most batshit crazy. Because if you've ever heard Trump say anything, you know how vain and
Yeah.
narcissistic he is, and he's not going to let someone shoot beside his head. Two was that some secret cabal or the deep state did it.
The deep state.
My personal conspiracy theory that I think it was it wasn't the deep state. It was, but it was still like the Secret Service kind of let it happen with like gates and the gaps in their protocol and stuff. But I think it was at behest of BlackRock and the people who are involved in making money off the Ukraine war.
For those of you at home who don't know, tell us a little bit about BlackRock. Those of you who
So
don't know, i.e., me.
Okay, so there's three.
I vaguely know what BlackRock
There's three main companies in the States. There's BlackRock.
Yeah,
There's
Halliburton.
Well, no, I mean like that. Like there's three main companies that own like investment funds and they invest in everything and then they
Okay.
make money off everything. Like BlackRock doesn't make weapons. They just own shares in a whole bunch
Gotcha.
of weapons
Okay.
companies.
Yeah.
But what BlackRock, everybody kind of has heard BlackRock over the last couple of years. Like 5 years ago, nobody knew who they were. And they're like secret investing. And then BlackRock kind of like pulled their dick out and they're like, this is us, because they started buying a lot of the public like housing, not public housing, like
right,
but like housing, non-commercial housing,
non-commercial property,
so
real
like
estate,
detached
real
houses
estate.
and stuff.
Yeah.
So they started buying all those from banks and stuff with their hedge funds and treat them like a resource instead of a living thing.
Yeah.
And then there's Vanguard, and then there's the other one,
JP Morgan Chase.
Well, JP Morgan Chase is the biggest bank in the
States. Bank, right? Okay.
The other one, there's Vanguard, Palantir. Okay, so those are the big three.
Right. Okay, yeah.
And the most fucked up thing about these companies is BlackRock owns part of Vanguard. Vanguard owns
they
part
all
of BlackRock.
Own a piece of each other,
and and then like BlackRock will own all these companies. Like they don't own them outright; they'll own like 30% of the shares or whatever. and then Vanguard and Palantir will own pieces of them. And it's like BlackRock and Vanguard own pieces of all the weapons manufacturing
Right.
companies. So they're making money off of the like the
The conflicts. Yeah.
giving weapons to Ukraine for them to shoot, and then they can build more and get money that way. And then BlackRock has been hired to help rebuild Ukraine once it's done. And Kamala Harris was tapped to be the person in charge of the rebuilding of Ukraine. Like I
Right.
think like 2 years ago, Biden did. And then I think what they're starting to do, like people, like it's weird because conspiracy theorists have been talking about it, but I
Yeah.
don't know if it's happening yet. Where they're like, hey, Ukraine, here's a loan of $5 billion. And then Ukraine's like, oh, we don't have that money. And then BlackRock steps in and is like, hey, I got some money. How about you let me buy land in Ukraine, which is the breadbasket of Europe?
Yeah.
How about you let me buy part of Ukraine, and then I will give you money to help them pay you back? So it's like that's kind of like what China does with their roads and rails thing, where
Right.
China will like lend money to, mostly in Africa, they'll lend them money for to build infrastructure. And then when they can't pay it back, China's like, oh, what did you put up for this
Yeah.
loan? Let's take that.
Let's have a look
And
at
it's
that.
basically the easy way to get cheap land and
Right.
stuff from countries. And
When
then,
when you said the breadbasket of Ukraine, I could only think about Operation, the game, and you have to remove the
oh
breadbasket.
yeah,
That's the
um,
breadbasket of the Ukraine.
well,
The
oh,
Ukraine.
and that, do you know who Lindsey Graham is?
Vaguely.
So he's some
Is he related to
guy.
Billy Graham, the old preacher
I don't think so,
from
but
the
that would be
80s? Oh,
hilarious if
it
he
would be
was.
really funny.
Lindsey Graham, I don't know what he is specifically, like if he's which part of parliament he is, but he's involved in like the Republican Parliament.
Yeah.
And he, in one interview recently, a couple months ago, he did the biggest boo boo that you're not supposed to say, and he told someone, he was like talking to somebody about the Ukraine war. He's like, we can't stop the Ukraine war because there's $14 trillion of rare earth minerals
Oh.
underneath Ukraine. And he's like, we can't just let Russia have those resources, can we? And then everybody's like,
Oh shit.
dude, what the fuck? Did that
Yeah.
just get said out loud? And then it
Lindsey
just like
Graham
made
is the
everything make sense.
yeah, Lindsey Graham is the United States senator from South Carolina who's held it since 2003.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what's weird?
What?
That South Carolina, they don't call it SoCarl
Do they call it
because
NorCal? North Carolina?
NoCal? No, that's all
That's NorCal.
California.
That's California. I think you're thinking of the
California,
wrong
like
state.
everything else, they just sucked up all the attention and took the
all
good
the They took
names
all the good names already.
from
South Carl.
South Carl, North Carl, and South Carl.
Yeah, North Carl and South Carl. Fucking love North Carl.
Yeah. Uh so that's the one I think it
What's the meat and the
is.
potatoes of it? So okay, so that's you. So your theory is that it has something to do with BlackRock and
You well, not it doesn't
not
necessarily. Yeah,
necessarily
I think it
BlackRock,
has.
but it has Ukraine
Yeah, I
ties.
think, and I think it's not the deep state because as my conspiracy guru, I don't even know if he wants me to say his name anymore because he's doesn't want to come. But anyways, my conspiracy guru says that because I pitched him that it was BlackRock and not the deep state, and he was like, well, that could be why it was basically like an amateurish conspiracy. Like, because if this was deep state conspiracy time, like CIA Operation Gladio and weirdo shit like that, we wouldn't it
Yeah,
wouldn't be so obvious that it was a setup.
yeah.
Like there wouldn't be glaring holes in the Secret Service. It would just be it still happened despite the Secret Service.
So complete side question, just because I'm like
Yes.
maybe dumb about this a little bit. Why does Trump still have Secret Service people working for him?
Because Secret Service protect ex-presidents until they're dead. Like
Really?
Bill Clinton still has Secret Service
No way.
protecting
Okay,
him.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for that
And
answer. I had no
yeah,
idea
no
that's
problem. And then I think like certain levels of government also get Secret Service
right.
because basically
Yeah,
Secret Service is the police force for the US government.
right. And when you've been in government for that long, holding certain positions, you have key knowledge that can't fall into certain hands or whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and it's also like any politician, people are going to want to like
Yeah, murder them.
murk them,
That's sort of how
obviously,
politicians are gonna. That's sort of what politicians
as we just
are.
saw. Yeah.
They
And then
aggravate everybody.
like
Yeah.
a big thing was like the nominees get Secret Service too. So Trump would have them because he was a
Oh,
former president,
right. And
but he
then
would
also
also
a
have
nominee
them
for
because he's in
2020.
the election. And one of the big things was RFK wasn't granted Secret Service detail by Joe Biden. They refused it to him.
Really?
But now after this, RFK's got Secret Service
Yeah.
protecting him.
So it's funny, man. Like when that first happened, when that whole like I was at work, obviously, because
Mhm.
I'm never not at work.
It
I was at work
was
and
also Wednesday, wasn't it?
it was like a weird day. It was like the middle of the week, and somebody was like, "Hey, did you hear Trump got shot?" And I was like, "What?" And so I immediately flurry to the internet to go have a look. And I was like, "What the fuck?" And my wife texted me. She's like, "Trump got shot. Did you hear Trump got shot? Or somebody took a shot at Trump?" And I was like, "What?" And I looked, and she's like, "It was probably a Republican." That was her follow up. That was her follow up to that, and I was just like, "Oh, that's
Yeah.
cold."
That was
So
a conspiracy too. Like another one is that because there's like never Trumper Republicans who are
yeah,
people in the Republican Party and they don't want Trump to be president and they don't want him running. So
yeah,
they thought it
yeah, yeah.
might
So
have been
they're
one of them so they could get someone else to go in.
I think my when I discussed that with her a little bit, she was kind of like the thought that it was a Republican, but trying to play a sympathy card. So like
Yeah,
they
like that
shot
was,
him to like raise him up kind of thing, which is one of the
yeah,
other ones you were discussing, right?
that was the first. That one came out a lot because a lot of people are like, because whenever there's conspiracies and shootings involved, and it's usually the Republicans, like all the false flags to start wars and shit.
Yeah,
That's always
yeah, yeah.
Republicans.
Totally. We
But
spoke about
I
that one
mean,
time before.
the Democrats are getting pretty war hawkish these days in the states too.
I find this whole thing just even wild in a general sense of like
Mhm.
gun violence has emboldened the presidential candidate race. It blows my mind. Like this is just a whole thing, right? Like I know I'm getting off the top of the topic of
Hey,
the
no,
conspiracy theory piece,
we're here
but
for a
like
conversation, buddy.
gun violence is like emboldening one side of the thing, and like gun violence against the candidate. I don't even know if I don't think I'm even closely phrasing this correctly. I'm very tired,
Mhm.
so I'm trying my best here. The gun violence has emboldened a potential presidential candidate, right?
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
and
like gun violence
rallied people have rallied
propelled
around
him.
it, has
Yeah.
propelled him and put him in the media and put him in the spotlight. And granted, the whole thing that's happening on the other side of that spectrum with Biden stepping down out of the race, Kamala Harris being sort of pushed forward to the front. Not
Yeah.
sure what's actually going on with that, but like
It's bullshit.
it's like this whole presidential race got really weird really quickly, and it
Yeah.
looks like it's tipping toward Trump.
Well, it was tipped towards Trump when Biden was just like the senile old man. Like they were like kind of neck and neck. And then they had that first debate where Biden had like such an abysmal showing. And it was like, because it was like everybody who's been paying attention to what's going on has known that Trump would, or Biden, sorry, Biden was
Biden was probably gonna,
senile and
yeah.
old as F for like over a year. Like we're all like, all right, when's this weekend and Bernie's nightmare going to stop? But they had been able to
Who's
lie
fucking
to,
holding him up?
yeah,
This has got a Secret Service guy just holding him up. Hey
yeah.
Bernie,
That's
how's
where
you? How you?
Jeff Dunham's just in
Yes,
the fucking,
puppeteering him,
yeah.
but he's saying
Um,
some racist shit through. Yeah. Oh my
and
god.
then so it's like, but they've been managed to like, they basically just been managing to lie their way
Yeah.
out of it since like for over a year, where like the press secretary and everybody around Trump would be like, no, he's fine,
He's
he's
totally
totally
fine.
sharp, and all
Around
the
Biden.
like
Yeah.
legacy media were like, I trust him. And then the debate happens and it was basically like nobody could lie about it
Yeah.
anymore.
It's
They're
like,
like,
well,
well,
he's on display for everyone to see. So
yeah. They're like,
yeah.
I don't know what they thought was going to happen.
Yeah. Totally. Let's just put him out there and see what's what.
Yeah. They because they sent him away for a week to train him on all these questions, and like they gave him, because he did the State of the Union speech before, like a couple like months before, and he
Yeah.
did actually super good because they had him on like the right drug cocktail and stuff, I guess.
He had a
And
good
it
mix
was,
going that week. Yeah.
yeah, he was at the right time of day, but I think he's just more degenerative now. Plus, there's this thing called sundowning, where it's
Yeah, I've
like
heard
if
of
you
it.
have
Yeah.
dementia, there's like a certain point of the day where you're way better and way more cognitive.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's probably like part of your circadian rhythm or something.
I feel like I have that a little bit. Like 2 o'clock p.m., I'm fucking useless. But then
Yeah,
like 3:30, 4 o'clock, I perk back up.
that would also explain why there's night owls and morning
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I'm
totally.
fucking useless tits until like 11 o'clock, and then I go to 11 bed at 11:30.
Dude, I'm
So I have
6:30,
half hour.
6:30. I am awake and ready to party. Like
Oh
it's
really?
6:30
Oh,
a.m. I'm like, bing, let's fucking go. And
oh my
my
god.
like my wife can't stand it. She's like, why are you up so early? I'm like, I can't sleep. It's up, it's go time. And it's not like I'm up and I'm like lounging around doing nothing. I'm up, I've eaten breakfast, I've gone to the gym. I'm like, fuck, let's go.
You know what I bet it is?
What?
Hockey as a child,
Oh, that might be it.
because you had to
Yeah.
get up so
Get up
early
at
for
6 a.m. Get up at
practices and
5 a.m.
stuff.
every day. Yeah, 4 a.m. every day. Get up and go to
Dude, I've been
practice.
getting up at 5:30 for I've been at this job 6 years straight. Every
Yep.
day I get up at 5:30. It still hurts.
Really?
Like I could get up now and just be
Yeah.
like, all right, whatever. But then like I don't know. It's like I get like it's like when you like in winter, when fall, when you
Yeah.
wear a hoodie and you're like, yeah. But in summer, like so for me, it's like I'll get up at 5:30, but I'm like in the fall with a hoodie and
Begrudgingly. Yeah.
I'm not in my t-shirt and shorts until like 9 a.m. Like that's when I'm fully started and awake. I'm like, hey, I'm up. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's like 9 a.m.
But like I know like I talked to my brother about this stuff too, because he's like, I'm part of the 5:30 club now. I get up super early and I go to the gym and I get all my shit done. And I'm like, I've been doing that for years and I'm not part of a club. It's just an automatic. I'm just awake and it's go time.
Yeah, but you could say you're part of the
I know
cool
the
kids
cool kids. He's
club.
like, yeah, he's like reading this book and he's like, it's the 5:30 club and
Oh
you
my
get up
god.
early and you can tackle your day so much better. I'm like, well, I tackle my day the same every day, but I'm up early, but it doesn't matter. But it's
Dude,
yeah,
how
don't even talk
annoying
to me
are
at two
dudes
o'clock.
when they read self-help books?
I love him to death, but it's just painful sometimes to
Just
listen to him. And I
fucking
know what he's
listen
gonna
to
say.
Joe Rogan
If
like
he
the
ever
rest of
watched
us.
this, he would be like, "Why would you talk about it like that? You know what? It's not. You can't control these things." And you guys are like, "Ah, fuck! Oh no!" Yeah,
I'd love it if you watched this. I think everybody
yeah.
should watch this show and get
Everybody
mad
should
at me.
watch this show and
Hmm.
get mad at us for talking. For we got Night Owl Dale and early guy Jeff. So
I will gladly be the heel if it means we get a larger
if we
audience.
get more viewers,
I
yeah,
just
totally.
start acting like a dickhead and it works. And then I'm like, fuck, now I have to be a
Yeah,
dickhead all the time,
yeah. No, I
which
don't think
I'm
you do.
okay with. It
And
just
then
takes a lot of energy.
somebody takes a shot at you and blows your earphones off.
Oh,
And
you know what's
so
funny?
what's that?
So I have all these notes
Yeah.
and I want to get through them because we're already half hour in and we haven't really talked about it. But
Oh my god. Okay.
this is actually a thing that happened. So the FBI, they were like, we can't be sure that a bullet hit Trump's ear. It might have been a piece of shrapnel from the bullet hitting the teleprompter. And then Trump's team freaked out. They're
Oh, because
like,
they
what are
didn't.
you doing and all this stuff? And then the FBI the next day came back and they're like,
Not the bullet
it
definitely hit
was
him.
a bullet that hit Trump's ear.
Wow. Holy shit. Yeah.
Because it makes sense because one of the things with the conspiracy is people were like, oh, the bullet, it wasn't even a bullet that hit Trump's ear. It was a piece of shrapnel. If a bullet hit Trump's ear. So they're kind of like, this was kind of, I guess, in the way of like, they didn't shoot. It was like his own people. If they're shooting something in front of him to make it look like he got shot at, but
Yeah.
not shot. So I think that's why Trump was so like, yo, say it was the fucking bullet. And then there was like an official, like, Army, Navy, fucking
Yeah.
doctor
Like,
guy thingy that said it was true.
right. They had a guy come out and confirm
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Okay. So
What
before
else you
I,
got?
before I was talking about how there's been updates this week that are fucking crazy. So there's
Yeah.
two main things we're going to talk about.
Okay.
So I kind of went over the conspiracies that were getting bandied about right after it happened.
Okay.
The assassination attempt, if anybody cares, was 6:05 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, July 13th. That would have
So it's
been
at 3 o'clock
3:05
our
our
time.
time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, wait, is Pennsylvania on the 3 hour ahead?
I think so. Yeah. It's all in the same Eastern Seaboard area.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
okay,
sure it
because it
is.
was
Yeah.
It was
It was afternoon because I was still at work. So
Yeah,
it
it's
would have been
3:05. It was 30 miles north of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in a town called Butler. So at 6:05, Trump takes the stage. He starts talking. 6:09, that's 4 minutes later. Attendees see this Crooks guy climbing on the roof, and they're like, "Yo, there's a guy on the roof. He's got a gun. What are you guys doing?" And they start talking to the police. These are all videos everybody's seen. And then
yeah.
6:11, 2 minutes after people see the guy, he takes 8 shots at Trump. I think they said he hit him in the ear with his first shot. He hit the fuck. I didn't write down his name in my notes, but they hit the retired volunteer police, fire chief guy, and then
Yeah.
they hit 2 others and critically wounded them.
Oh
So
man.
that all happens, and then everybody's like, "Oh, and he shot from 150 yards away."
That's pretty close.
Yeah. Um, and there was 2 counter sniper teams on the barn. Okay, so this happened on a farm, and Matthew Crooks was shooting from a barn that was outside of the farm. So I guess it was like a barn next,
Yeah,
like on
next
the
door.
next farm.
Like next door, rural next door.
Yeah. So it was
Yeah.
like 150 yards away. That's what, 450 feet. There's
Yeah.
3.3 feet in every yard. If you want to do the specific math,
Yeah.
go for it. There's
On
basically
you.
a yard and a meter are the same, pretty
Yeah.
close.
Pretty close.
So yeah, he takes a shot, and then everybody was like, "Wait, how the fuck did a sniper get on a roof 450 feet away from the president as he was speaking?" So that was one thing that immediately everybody was like, "This doesn't add up." And
Yeah.
then the counter snipers were to the when Trump was talking, the snipers were to his right, the counter snipers, sorry, and they actually shot back and killed the guy after he took 8 shots. And they're saying one of the reasons Trump survived was because the guy was also in the distance to Trump's right. So those counter snipers were actually super close to him.
Yeah.
They were probably like 100 yards away from the sniper. Sorry.
That's okay.
I just got a text from Andrea. I was just making sure she wasn't telling
Needing.
me I
Yeah.
was talking too loud. So,
Too
anyways, the
loud.
counter snipers were actually closer to the sniper than Trump was.
Right.
And what happened was he was shooting from like, I think it was like, okay, that doesn't matter exactly. You can look up all the diagrams or whatever.
Yeah.
So he's at a 45-degree angle off to Trump's right. And then Trump, it's funny because he had like these graphs to show how shitty Biden was on immigration or something.
Yeah.
And as Trump turned to look at the graph to talk about it, the bullet whizzes by and hits him in the ear. So it's like, as Trump turns his head, it's like bang. So if he hadn't
If he
turned
would
his head,
have
it would
caught
have
him in
hit
the
him
back. Yeah.
in the temple.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so everybody's talking about like what the fuck, and then I don't want to. I guess everybody should know that's basically what happened. So I'm going to talk about the stuff that happened this week because it's an update. Because we did talk about it a bit on my other podcast, The Outrage Factory with Matt McLaren. We talked about it 2 weeks ago, I think, right after
Yep.
it happened. So we're going to talk about Kimberly Cheadle, who's the head of the Secret Service. So she
Okay.
goes in front of Congress and just basically gets her shit punched in by both Democrats and Republicans. It's a very nice moment where the two political parties
They
join together.
they joined hands and
Yeah,
to roast a Secret Service leader.
Yeah, they're doing that thing where they're holding their arms over each other's shoulders and just
Yeah.
kicking her that she's on the ground. So she was like, I didn't know this. I thought she was just like a recent like governmental hire that
Mm.
whatever, but I was listening to a podcast and they said that she was in the Secret Service for like 28 years. She was actually the person who evacuated the vice president for Bush. What's his name?
Cheney.
Yeah, Dick Cheney. She evacuated Dick Cheney on 9/11. So
I feel like if you're going to be in the Secret Service for 28 years, no one should know who you are.
yeah, I mean, I
Right?
get she wins there because I didn't
Yeah,
know who she
because
was.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Uh, okay, interesting. Yeah,
She was appointed to the head of Secret Service 2022 by Joe Biden.
okay. All right. So in the Secret Service in some capacity, but not necessarily the leader at that
Yeah.
point.
But
Gotcha.
she'd been the leader for 2 years.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she had been fucking up this bad the whole time or if this was a oops, I fucked up on purpose because she was like ready to retire and she was
Yeah.
like, I'll just resign type of deal. Or if she got like the tap on the shoulder where they're like, hey, we're going to fucking do this thing. And either you go away with it and take the fall or we kill you right now. I don't know how
Right.
fucking stuff behind the scenes works. I can only just make theories about it because I'm a conspiracy theorist, not a conspiracy knower. Yeah.
Man, this is interesting. So I'm reading the recent stuff, and I don't know if you're getting to this, and I'm skipping over it.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently a SWAT team saw the shooter
Oh
up to
yeah, I'm
two
getting to that.
hours. But okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, no, it's fine.
I'm jumping the proverbial
Yeah,
gun, as
that's
they
all
say.
stuff that came out from
Sorry.
the head of the FBI. His because he met with Congress on Wednesday,
Yeah.
so we're going back on July 22nd, Monday.
Yeah.
Kimberly Cheadle goes before Congress and basically says, we fucked up. I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, do you want to resign? And she's like, no, the buck stops
No.
with me. And then the next day she resigns.
Like, oh yeah.
But on
I've
Monday
seen
at
that
that
story play
meeting,
out before.
she admitted that her agents on the ground were warned between 2 and 5 times that there was
Wow.
a suspicious person reported, and this was before Trump went on stage. So she was
Right.
like, yeah, we had a warning about some suspicious man 2 to 5 different
He'll
times.
be okay. Just let him go.
I mean, we're supposed to be
Yeah.
letting this happen. So,
Right.
and
Yeah.
then, excuse
There's
me.
a theory all on its own, right?
Yeah. And then I think it was up to 2 weeks ago, Trump's team had been asking for more Secret Service deployment and they had been denied. And what happened was the Secret Service, instead of adding more Secret Service agents, they went to the Butler Police Agency
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, hey, and then they got
Can you loan
local
us some
law
snipers?
enforcement to make it
Yeah.
up. Yeah. And then, but there's group text between the Secret Service counter sniper group. I guess they just all have
They've got
like
a
a
WhatsApp
WhatsApp
group.
group.
Yeah, totally. They do 100%. They're on the chat. It's
They're
the
all
work
like,
chat.
look at
No,
this
what the
nerd,
fuck's up with this dude on
LOL.
the roof? On the roof.
Look at this dork. Look
Yeah.
at this incel with the greasy hair,
Yeah,
LOL.
yeah, totally. Yeah.
So there was text between them 90 minutes before the shooting attempt, and they were like aware of crooks. They didn't know that it was crooks, but they just saw this guy like doing dumb weird shit. But another thing is like I kind of got to say that he was outside
Yeah,
of
of the
the
borders of
rally
where, yeah.
perimeter, just kind of skulking around.
Yeah.
And I don't want to like, I'm a farm kid. So this is kind of like I can call my own what they are. Like rednecks are fucking weird.
They are
So
weird.
you can't
Yeah.
really just go tackle and arrest every fucking hair-lipped guy who's being
Stop being
weird in the
weird.
country.
Stop being
Yeah.
weird, you fucking dude.
They're like,
But I'm in the
hey,
country. This is what we do out here. I'm like, yeah.
yeah,
I'd
there's
arrest
like,
that
hey,
guy for
there's
having
this
9 half cars in his
yeah.
garden. Yeah.
Like hindsight, it looks fucking bad
Yeah.
because he was walking around with a rangefinder pointing it at the stage to see how far away it is.
I was
But
looking for coyotes.
also, if he never attempted to shoot Trump and nothing ever happened, could you see some redneck boy
Absolutely.
who has some toys? He's like, oh, I wonder how far away that is. Click, click,
Yeah,
click, click.
totally.
Yeah. Like fucking golfers use rangefinders.
Yeah.
This was a shooting rangefinder for like hunters. I don't know the difference,
I don't
but
either.
I mean, like,
I just remember when laser pointers got banned because people were pointing them at airplanes,
yeah,
right? Like people do dumb shit. People do
yeah,
dumb shit all the time. You can't just arrest people for doing
mhm,
dumb shit. Like, so I could
yeah,
see that. You're right. Like, it could be just a redneck with like, I know rednecks that set up all kinds of stuff like
mhm,
trail cams and they got all kinds of shit, fish finders and shit like that. I'm like,
yeah.
if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time using a fish finder to try to locate some fish, somebody thinks you're planting bombs under a pier, then like you could get totally fucked. You're like, I was out here trying to blow up some fish.
Yeah, like I'm buying headphones with a new headset
Oh
on Prime
yeah.
Days. They're buying fucking redneck toys and playing
Redneck
with them.
toys, camouflaged rangefinders.
Yeah,
That's their search history. A disturbing search history discovered. Camouflaged rangefinder. Not disturbing. That's a fucking redneck thing.
yeah. And another defense of this was because somebody was like everybody had to weigh in on what happened because the secrets are this counter secret sniper secret services.
Yep.
Uh, sorry, the Secret Service counter snipers. Learn to talk, Dale. You got a podcast.
You're okay. You're doing well.
Someone was like, because they looked and then they looked like bare eye, naked eye, and then they saw the guy, then they shot, and people were like, look, the Secret Service can't just pink miss the guy who looks like he has a gun. Like they
Pink
have to
mist? Is
make
that shooting
sure.
him in the head? Is that what that
Yeah.
is? Oh
Yeah.
man.
Pink miss is when you shoot a guy in the head with a high powered rifle
Yeah, it
and
just
it just goes.
explodes and yeah, like a watermelon. Okay, cool. Wicked.
So, like, you can't do that to a guy you thought was going to do something
Yeah.
because if it's like a fucking just some random redneck. Also, I mean, they should have had a guy on the roof of this building, but they didn't. They had people inside the building. There's all this like weird shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why we're here because all this weird
Yeah.
shit happens. But if you go like fucking just blasting every like redneck who's crawling around doing weird stuff, like I said before, you're going to be shooting a lot of rednecks.
Yeah. Those tolls are
So
going to rise. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, but and then here's another text.
Okay.
So this guy who like 90 minutes before the event, there was a guy because they have like Secret Service counter snipers there for like hours beforehand. And so this guy's shift was over like 90 minutes before the rally started because I
Yeah.
guess just because people were there. So as he was going to his car, he saw Crooks and he was like, he texted that Crooks was sitting to the direct right on a picnic table about 50 yards from the exit. And he sent that to the counter sniper team group chat at 4:27 p.m. And then one of the two remaining snipers photographed Crooks multiple times and texted the pictures to the group chat and said, kid learning around building. I think he might have meant to say leaning.
Leaning, yeah.
We are in. Okay, so this was a guy who was on the second floor of a building.
Yeah.
Because they weren't on the roof because another fucked up thing was Kim Cheadle said that they didn't put snipers on the roof of the building where he shot from because the roof was sloped. And
oh my god.
So this might have been like an overly safe not get sued thing.
Yeah.
So there was snipers in that building on the second floor looking out. So what they texted was one kid leaning around the building we are in. And then one wrote, I did see him with a rangefinder looking towards stage for your information. If you want to notify SS snipers to look out, I lost sight of them.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So that was all Kim Cheadle said. Yeah. And so she said that they didn't have anybody on the roof because it was slanted, which I'm just going to say, I work in the trades.
Yeah.
We're doing paying attention to safety. And there's a lot of stuff where it's like, you go, that's fine and pretty safe. I don't think anyone would get hurt.
Yeah.
But then you get pushback. You know what? Fuck it. We'll just be super safe. I don't care. You fucking want to be super safe? Let's be super safe. Let's see what happens. Yeah. Let's not put a sniper because we don't want some fat guy to roll off and break his ankle falling 20 feet or whatever. Totally. Oh, and another thing that happened was when the people were saying they saw Crooks or whatever, a local law enforcement guy went up to look and he saw Crooks and then Crooks looked at him. So what happened was, okay, so Crooks, sorry, I'm like jumping all around and I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah. Okay, so this is how the FBI director says that Crooks got on the building.
Yeah.
He says, because it showed up on his like history or whatever, that Crooks had bought a 5-foot ladder from Home Depot, which if you've ever tried to be on a building, 5 feet isn't enough.
Nothing. Yeah.
So I think he left that in his car and then he went and he actually climbed up pipes and stuff on the side of the building.
Right.
And that's how he got on the roof. So after these people in the crowd were like 2 minutes before, they're like, hey, there's a guy on the roof. What the fuck? He's got a gun. So a local law enforcement guy climbed up there and he peeked his head over the top of the roof or whatever. And then Crooks like turned around and pointed the gun at his face. And then the law enforcement was like, oh, fuck. And he dropped. And then he like, it was high enough that he hurt his leg. They didn't say how, like if he broke it or if he twisted his ankle, but it was high enough for him to like,
to fall and sustain an injury of some sort.
So my point is Maybe there was a point that the roof was too slanted because this cop who climbed up
He
there
fell
did
off
hurt
of
his
it.
leg.
The ground is too muddy, so I
Yeah.
can't go stand on it safely.
They're actually saying that police officer might have saved Trump's life
Oh, by
because
delaying him a couple seconds, kind of
yeah,
thing.
because he looked back, he saw that, and he
Yeah,
pointed the gun at the officer, and then the officer dropped, and then Crooks was like, the jig's up. So he probably went back and took his 8 shots without
without
properly,
properly aiming. Yeah.
yeah,
So,
properly resetting his gun.
so someone should try to assassinate that cop that didn't get Trump assassinated,
Yeah.
prevented Trump from being assassinated. No, I'm not saying that someone should do that. Just to be
Yeah.
clear, no one should
We'll
shoot
we'll see
anyone.
what happens to him if he like has a car accident.
No, he's going to get a commendation. He'll get a
Oh yeah, that's
commendation
true.
for bravery or some shit. He'll get like
Yeah.
a Purple Heart or whatever the U.S. Secret Service equivalent of a Purple Heart is, of the act of valor.
Okay.
I only know what I know from American war movies. That's it. I don't know what else is.
Okay, so we're running out of time. We've got to
Uh-oh.
do a tight hour because Jeffy's got a big
I'm
life
very
and
pooped.
I got a big life too. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the FBI director Christopher Wray went in front of Congress on Wednesday the 24th.
Okay.
And like the fucking shit he said is weird.
So what was it? Tell me a bit about it.
First I've somebody was a different podcast. Like I love how all my sources are just different podcasts.
Other podcasts.
But I actually did Google search some news stories, so that's where I got these point form notes. So if you want to fact check me,
fact check Dale's facts.
hit your fucking Googles or hit your DuckDuckGos because Google probably will give you different
Google
results.
will give you different results. Do you know this? Do you know Dale's a huge DuckDuckGo advocate?
Yeah, so they were saying that it's weird that the FBI would give out like details to the public about
weird,
an ongoing investigation because like when was the last time you're like, hey, the FBI thinks this is what happened over here? Because you're like, you just fucking like when JFK got assassinated, they had to do like a commission to look into what happened, and then they just all lied and shit.
Yeah, okay. Man, the FBI is not exactly straightforward with their information.
Yeah. The alphabet agencies don't usually tell you the truth.
The alphabet agencies, that's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many of them.
Yeah. Okay, like, so
yeah, go ahead.
They looked into Crook's computer, which apparently it took him 2 weeks to crack because he had it all like fucking
encrypted.
Yes. Thank you, Jeff.
Here for
my brain doesn't work this late enough. Apparently, I'm sundowning as we speak.
You're sundowning. Dale's currently sundowning. Well, just mumbles next.
So the funny thing I guess funny in a weird way, was Crooks on July 6th Googled how far away was Oswald when he shot Kennedy assassination.
Man. Yeah.
And side note, it was 59 to 63 yards.
Wow, so way closer.
That was way close. That's like 170 feet.
Yeah, that's not very far
away.
That's
so close. And people, I remember like the JFK assassination. They're like, "Oh, Oswald wasn't a crack shot. He couldn't have made that shot." It's like,
dude was like, he was
150
so close
feet.
to him.
I could make that shot.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
that's half of a Canadian football field.
I like how you put Canadian football field. Yeah, 55 yards. Yeah, that's hilarious.
So Crooks Googles this, and then later that same day, he registers to go to the rally. He's like, how far away was Oswald when he shot Kennedy? And
tickets like, to Trump rally.
He's like, all right, tickets to
Trump rally. Yeah, also,
and then
5 foot ladder, Home Depot.
Yeah. In the car. There's this other thing that like the Heritage Foundation
tall
put
is
out.
A barn?
Yeah.
Average barn heights.
Climbing pants. It would be so fun. Imagine
climbing pants
if you were
stability like of barn pipes.
You're just climbing up these pipes and you rip your pants open. It's just like, and then you get
naked gunman.
You get pink misted on TV and your fucking ass crackers out.
In your tiny whities on a roof.
If I get pink misted on TV, I do not want my pee-pee hanging out. Unless
the whole thing comes up and he's Porky Pigging it on the roof of the shirt. That's all, folks.
Unless for some reason I don't know if getting shot in the head gives you a wild erection, then I'd be okay.
What is the term for that when that happens? When you get like a
Rigor
random
mortis.
no, no, not rigor mortis. There's another term for it. I gotta look it up. I gotta look it
Oh,
up. Keep
when
going.
you
Keep
get
going.
like
Yeah, it's it. Oh my
a
god.
trauma based erection.
Yeah, there's a name for it. I'm gonna look this up. This is
Yeah, because
that now my search history is compromised.
if getting blasted turns you into George in the cold pool, that's the last thing you want is to
Yeah,
be the guy who shot at Trump, missed, got killed, and had a teeny pecker. But I
yeah,
also heard that
totally.
this guy had a 10-inch schlong,
Oh man.
which I got to say, I don't have a 10-inch schlong. Maybe that's what's
Uh,
keeping me away
I
from
don't.
gun
I don't.
violence.
That is what's keeping you away from gun
My
violence. Yeah, you have
peepee's too small.
a PP is too small.
I don't have the counterweight to properly.
Priapism. I found it.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
thank God. Priapism.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Just yeah, a prolonged erection of the penis where it just won't go away. Hours beyond or yeah, and not caused by sexual stimulation. Just yeah, priapism. I knew I would remember it eventually.
Okay. So,
Sorry. I
and
have
then
one right now. It won't go away.
yeah, the FBI also found bombs in this guy's car because he parked
Yeah, yeah. He parked
at
like right by the
yeah,
farm,
I
right?
think he
Or at the
parked where
rally
the
location.
staff parking was for the Secret Service.
Yeah.
That's why the guy who was leaving saw him because he was like, "Oh, he snuck in and parked by us." They found two bombs, and on his body he had a transponder, but they were like,
Oh yeah, I read about that.
it's too rudimentary. It probably wouldn't have worked anyway. That's what the
Yeah.
FBI director said. And then they also found a drone because 2 hours before the rally, so I guess this would have been like 4:05 or
Yeah.
yeah, so this would have been
Eastern
like
Standard Time.
20 minutes before that Secret Service guy saw him. He was flying the drone around 200 yards away from the stage. So it would be like 50 yards away from the barn. So he was probably looking for a good spot to set up.
Yeah.
And then he probably saw this barn with the wildly sloped roof that's too steep for
Too steep
Secret
for
Service
Secret Service
agents.
to go
And
on.
he was like, I could do that. Oh, the best part about this is this roof is way too sloped for Secret Service agents. And oddly enough, and as a side note, that's actually how he remained hidden from the counter
Because
snipers
they
was
couldn't
because
see
it
him
was
because the
sloped.
because the roof was too
Yeah.
sloped. That makes sense,
But
actually.
if you look at pictures of this, there's just like two dudes with like standing with their arms by their side, looking down at the body on the super sloped roof.
Oh my
They're
god.
just like
Yeah,
standing there.
just standing like normal people, just
Yeah.
hanging out. Yeah.
And then the Secret Service sniper team headquarters was actually in the building he was on.
Yeah.
Those were the ones that were on the second roof. And then there was this thing. Oh yeah, I was talking about the Heritage Foundation. So the Heritage Foundation, I didn't get a chance to look this up, but like the Heritage Foundation is some weird. Let me just Google. Give that a quick Google.
Give it a quick duck go, or are you gonna Google it?
Duck, duck, go.
These duck go. Don't tell you you're gonna quick Google it and then duck go it. That's
just
ridiculous.
A quick goog
Just a quick
rolls
goog.
off the tongue easy.
It does. You're right.
Let me see. The Heritage Foundation. Oh, this looks Republican as fuck. Has a flag and the Liberty Bell.
Ooh.
Oh, they have Project 2025 is on here. I was gonna look that up, but I didn't.
Dale just found a found a wormhole.
Let me see the about or the bio. Sorry, guys.
Nope.
I'm just looking for like who the fuck the Heritage Foundation is and what they want. Who are you and what do you want? About Heritage. There we go. Right at the bottom. Heritage mission is to formulate and promote public policies based on principles of free enterprise, limited government, individual freedom, traditional American values, and strong national defense. Sounds like libertarian shit.
Libertarian bullshit.
Like I love libertarians because they're all like, we trust everybody way too fucking much. And they've never met like a shady person who builds stuff ever.
Yeah.
And needs regulation so we don't all die. So I'm just quickly reading. Anyway, so
sorry.
Basically, the Heritage Foundation is just something that sounds Republican, and the Project 2025, which I haven't looked into, but everybody keeps shitting about how bad it is. So I'll look into it later. They released this thing that they were saying they like did some tweet. Somebody tweeted that the Heritage Foundation released something where there was cell phones that had to do with the Crooks's family, not necessarily Matthew Crooks, but maybe his
Mhm.
parents, who were like supposedly like counselors or whatever.
Yeah.
But they were saying this like cell phone pinged by the Crooks household and then by an FBI building in DC somewhere. I don't know. So it's like super like vague. And
Yeah.
they're like, there's probably a really good explanation that actually means nothing. So, oh, remember when we did the episode about psychic driving about the guy
Mhm.
from the what the fuck was that LSD shit in Canada?
Uh,
Oh my god, my
Project
brain,
Project Ultra,
yeah, MK
MK
Ultra.
Ultra, MK Ultra.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
psychic driving where they basically like give you all these drugs and stuff and then erase your memory and then kind of build you up and bring you back like a Manchurian candidate.
Yeah. Or what was that movie with oh never mind. Fuck it. Forget it. I forget. I'm not even gonna start. Jesse Eisenberg. Oh,
Oh,
I think it was
American
called
Ultra.
American Ultra. Yeah, it was based on that same thing.
Yeah. And then like the Manchurian candidate. So some people were saying that maybe Crooks's parents did this to him.
Yeah.
Oh, one joke we had on the Outrage Factory was remember the lone gunman, how they always used to have catcher in the rye found in their
Found somewhere in their
belongings.
house. Yeah, somewhere
And you
on
haven't
them.
really
Yeah.
heard that about any of these lone gunmen lately.
Yeah.
And so I was joking, me and Matt were joking about what would be the best book to be the new trigger book. Matt's
What's the new
suggestion
trigger
was
book?
The Secret. Mine
Nice.
was mine was 50 Shades of Grey. Fuck,
Nice.
what was my brother's? My brother had a funny one too. Ah shit, he's gonna be upset.
Eat, pray, love.
Yeah, it was Eat, Pray, Love. That was my
I
brother's
called it.
suggestion.
Oh my god.
So I was gonna
Yeah.
ask you what's your suggestion?
Oh my god. That's a good one. What's that one that everybody has been reading and they all post on social media about how they read it? How to unfuck your life.
Oh,
That's whatever. Oh, yeah. I think
that's a
that's
good
the
one.
one.
That'd be
Unfucking your life.
found with a
Look
volume
what
of
I'm reading. How to
Unfuck
unfuck
Your
your life. Cool.
Life.
Cool. Good. You know how you can do that? Stop posting what you're reading on the internet.
Yeah. And then it's just like
That's a good, just read the book and maybe don't tell
highlighted,
anybody about it.
be part of the 530
Be,
club. And that's
yeah,
like
be part of the
the
530
trigger
club.
phrase.
That's how to do it. The trigger
That's what
phrase
people
is 530 club.
that's what people are doing at 530, getting their
Get
mind
get their mind
brainwashed.
erased. Yeah,
Yeah.
get their mind reprogrammed to be a
Yeah.
gunman. I'm now an
And
MK Ultra. I didn't even know it.
yeah. And then another batch of crazy things. So there's this like colonel from Arizona, and he was asking the head of the Butler police, the Pennsylvania police or whatever. And he was like, hey, did you notice when you looked into the Crooks household how there was no garbage or garbage bags in it and all the silverware was gone and the place was sterilized and clean like a surgery room? And the Butler the police guy was like, no. And it was such like a weird thing to like ask a person. So
That is weird.
I wonder if someone was like, yo, they looked at the Butler house or the Crook's house and there's fucking empty. Like it had been cleaned by a cleaning crew.
Weird. Weird.
Yeah.
What would that mean?
That would mean that
Somebody
after,
got in, or somebody got in there before.
yeah, like the people who fuck, and it would be so ham fisted too. It'd be part of
Yeah.
this whole amateur hour conspiracy because it's like if you take every garbage bag out of a house, then it's obvious that someone took all the
Someone took all the
garbage
garbage
and
bags.
all the
Yeah.
clues.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the silverware has to do with anything, maybe fingerprints or
DNA
whatever,
or
but that would
something.
be all
Yeah.
the dishes.
Be everywhere. You know where there's more fingerprints is on the cookie jar. That's where the fingerprints are in my house. They're going to be all over the cookie jar. You want DNA? Just look wherever the cookies are in the cupboard
Yeah,
because that's my slobber is on it, my beard hairs, and my fingerprints.
on the entire house.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
That always bugged me about CSI when it first came out. We're like, we found one hair in the bathroom. I'm like, one? That's fucking amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing that you only found one hair. There's like a pile behind my toilet right now, and it's not mine. So
Well, I mean, even if I was gonna try to assassinate a president and I was like, I'm gonna clean my house, I would have more hair than that in
oh
my
yeah,
sink.
absolutely. Yeah, totally. Like you just go in the drain, there's lots. Trust me. I'm the drain cleaner.
I like,
None of it
uh,
is mine. I'll
oh,
tell
there
you
you
that much
go.
right now. I
I'll
have two
like
very hairy
shave
people in my house.
and then I'll get the sponge out and I'll wipe it up
I wipe
clean
it
and I'll be
clean. Wipe
like,
it
this
clean.
is the cleanest that's ever been. And
Yeah.
then Andrea will go in after me.
There's
She's
still
like,
six
there's hair
hairs
on
in
the
here.
sink. And I'm like, motherfucker.
Yeah. And you've got light colored hairs too, man. Like I
Yeah.
guess I do now. I didn't used to. I mean,
There
like
you go.
super
There you
light
go.
colored hairs now. I got blonde hairs all over my face.
Yeah. But mine, I think mine's getting gray on the sides.
Oh yeah?
But the nice thing about being blonde is
Yeah,
gray and blonde look the same,
they do. They
unless it's
do.
all gray.
Yeah.
Then you'll be able to tell.
I think you're gonna never look you're always gonna look younger than me. It sucks. It's not fair.
Younger than you?
Yeah. I mean, you are younger than me, but like you're always gonna look it too. Like I look like an old man all
I don't know. I've been vaping a lot lately.
the time. Have you
Maybe
been
it's
hitting the vapes?
melting me from the inside.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Just wait till you get gray everywhere. Gray chest hairs now. It's terrifying. No,
Chest
thank you.
hair. I have like a
I
patch
know
right
you're like a
here.
porpoise. Smooth, smooth like a porpoise.
I don't have any chest hairs.
Ah,
I
it
am
must be
very
nice.
smooth because
Yeah.
my ancestry comes from the north.
Where people ever had hair. Apparently my history of my people come from frozen fucking wastelands where my kidneys need to be covered in hair for some
That's
reason.
true. You think that's weird. Why are Swedish people so
I
hairless?
don't know. You'd think they'd be. I guess because they have beautiful summers there. It's
The world
gorgeous, and
wants to know. And they're
they
all
want you.
blonde. Like
Yeah,
they're not built for winter, but they have
they have
winter.
winter. They do
What
have
they
winter
have
there.
winter?
They have winter.
It does not make a sense. Why the
Nice.
Swedish have no hair on their bodies?
Nice. Yeah, and why the French have so goddamn much.
Yeah.
No, it's not fair. All right, I
Yeah.
should get out of here. I'm freaking exhausted.
Yeah, that was a tight hour. Thank you very much, Jeff.
Nice.
Was there anything else you wanted to add on to the Trump thing?
I don't pay attention enough anymore. I wish I
Oh, I'm
did.
so jealous.
I know. I've like tuned. I'm so busy and working on other projects. I don't even know what is happening in the media. I
Yeah.
catch little bits here and there.
My problem was I was started listening to this podcast called Breaking Points
Yep.
and Counterpoints. And it's like they're so good because it's like one guy's kind of conservative and the girl's kind of like liberal and they kind of like hit stuff from both sides, but they're both pretty much dead center.
Yeah.
So they talk, so it's nice to hear them talk about stuff because they're not like
Yeah.
too
Crazy
far in
or
either
driven.
direction. Like they'll both criticize Biden and Trump. They don't
Yeah.
just pick a side and then die on the hill. So I've been listening to that a lot, and they've been talking about a lot of politics. So I just been, and then I got addicted to it.
Yeah. That's what happens.
Yeah. So yeah, I hope my new headphones
They
hold
sound
up
great.
pretty good.
They
Thank
sound
you.
great. They
I
sound
hope
really
they.
good. You have a handsome voice
Oh, thank you.
and a handsome face.
Oh, thank you.
And it's your
Which one?
birthday, so I have to say that.
You also have
I-
handsome body
Oh,
parts, sir.
stop. Yeah, it's from the knees down. Yeah,
So the tip of your dick.
yeah, from the tip. Nope. That is not true. I am not a gunman. I do not have a long wiener.
Well, maybe if we get you a proper priapism.
It won't go away. It's still here. What a pain in the ass. I guess in the front. It's a pain in the ass if you're not careful. Don't
Hey,
bend down around me.
yo.
Hey.
Hey, maybe
right.
if one of those guys who's looking at your dead body on the slopey roof falls right on it, it'll be a
Okay,
pain in the
whoa. Oh my god, he must be a gunman. Look at that thing. That's incredible.
Do you think joking about accidentally getting sodomized by the dead body of the guy who tried to assassinate the
He
president
fell on me off the roof. It was very high. It was very
will
slow.
get us in trouble on YouTube?
Yeah, probably.
Is that what
Yeah.
gets you strikes?
Fuck.
Accidental necrophilia sodomism?
Yeah, the
Sodomism?
guy. Yeah, what happened? The story they're not telling you is that officer that fell off the roof then had the turgid body, had the headless turgid body of the gunman land on him, and it fell in. I was just laying there, and it went
Oh.
right in.
That's actually how he hurt his leg.
Yeah, that's how he hurt his leg. And then it was so good, I just got a cramp and I could.
Third leg.
Ooh, spicy.
All right, let's
Okay,
go before we get on
this is
some
getting yeah,
list.
totally
Before
are.
we
We
get on
already
some
are.
alphabet agency list.
Nice, right on, man.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us on the Dale Show. We'll see you again soon. Hopefully, more than closer than 2 months.